This is volcanic glass formed into what are called Pele's tears, named after Pele, the Hawaiian goddess of volcanoes. Now, while this phenomenon is named after the Hawaiian goddess, it is not exclusive to Hawaii. This happens kind of wherever there's a very dramatic volcanic eruption. Now, these are formed when magma spews up out of the volcano at a rather high velocity and becomes airborne into little droplets. And as it flies through the air, it kind of deforms into that teardrop shape, which is where it gets its name Pele's tears, and it also cools into the volcanic glass. So it cools and solidifies while it's in the air, flying out after it's been spewed out by a violent volcanic eruption. Now, while just being cool, these Pele's tears also have scientific importance because they have vesicles contained in them sometimes, which are basically little pockets of gas. And by analyzing those pockets of gas, it can tell researchers a lot about that specific eruption. Now, the formation of these Pele's tears do tend to depend on the velocity of the eruption, how fast it's going. If it's going somewhat slow, it will form these Pele's tears. But if it goes very fast and is very violent with high velocity, it will form this, which is called Pele's hair. Now, this is also volcanic glass, just very, very thin and very, very fine. Now, this tends to form in typically much higher velocity eruptions when the lava, or now magma, is spewed out at such high velocity that it is going too fast and is too small to form those tears and instead strings out into these long hairs. Now, sometimes these tears can be attached to those long hairs. If you look up at the top of those, there's kind of a bit where it's broken off, and normally that would be attached to a very long, fine strand of glass where it kind of trailed behind like a comet tail. So it is a tear attached to a hair, but it looks like these have all been broken off. Now, sometimes this Pele's hair can kind of just blow off in the wind because it's very fine and really does not weigh a lot and can get blown very far distances and get stuck places. And now, since this is just straight up glass, it can cause a couple problems because you really do not want to be touching this. It's very, very fine, very, very delicate glass, and it can break very, very easily and get stuck in your skin, and it's especially bad if you get it in your eyes or inhale it if it becomes powdered. So this does look very cool, and it's a very interesting phenomenon how this forms with the lava basically just being spewed out so fast into the air that it turns into this like wool hair structure. However, you do not want to touch it. It is not soft and it will hurt a lot.